Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Padilla. Welcome to episode 20 of Dialogue Tree. I am always joined by my wonderful friend Matthew Umborga Peterson.
Yes.
And today we are joined by two special guests. We have Owen Wilson Connell. Give him a round of applause, please.
Hey, gamers.
And we have as well joining us today, all the way from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, we have Cameron Miles Tails Prower Mitchell. Round of applause, please.
It's me.
Yeah, welcome, guys.
Good
Thank
to be here.
Great to be. Hey, that was what I wanted to say.
It's great to be here in person with each other in this.
Tiny, cramped bar that's filled with hundreds of people touching each other and sneezing.
Shit. Cameron Miles Prower Mitchell.
That's Cameron Miles Tails Prower Mitchell to you.
Cameron Miles Tails Prower Mitchell.
Yes.
Where your travels, dog? Tell us about it.
Dog, shit is fucked in Spain right now, I gotta say.
How so, dude?
So, for anyone that doesn't know, I was teaching English in Spain, which is the classic post-college white person thing to do. Not necessarily in Spain, but teaching English in any country where English isn't the first language. Anyway, that's beside the point. I've been in Spain since September. I haven't been home at all. I didn't come home for Christmas. I stayed there, stayed for New Year's, stayed for Thanksgiving, all that. And then this coronavirus, COVID-19 started going off in Wuhan, China, and then eventually made its way to Europe, made its way to Italy. Italy got fucked super hard, and they closed all their schools and the universities, and they made soccer matches or football matches only open to no one, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. That'll never happen. And then all of a sudden, Madrid was like, okay, no more school, 2 weeks. And so I had no job. And then I was like, shit, this kind of sucks. I'm really bored. Maybe I'll just hang out with my friends. And then they were like, wait, you can't leave your house. And I was like, oh no.
Is there a what do you call it when you a curfew type deal?
It's not a curfew. It's just
things closed legally.
So as of this moment right now, I think the latest thing that is that everything is closed by law, except for hospitals, pharmacies, and the grocery stores. The airport was open when I left, which is how I left. I left, by the way. I'm not in Spain, as Daniel said. I'm in Cape Cod. It was scary, though. I mean, it wasn't that scary. I took an Uber there, and that was fine. It was really expensive because it's kind of far to get to the airport from my house.
Right.
But I wasn't really trying to hop on public transport at that time.
Yeah.
Because the public transport in Madrid is actually really nice, but not so much. It's so nice that everyone uses it, so you don't really want to do that in the midst of the pandemic. And so when I got to the airport, I got there super, super early, 6 hours early or something, because I hate one of my roommates. And also I didn't want to miss my plane. I was supposed to clean the house, and so I just left really early so I could use but I had to catch my flight.
So the house is just are you going back, or are you just going to stay in Cape Cod for...
I don't know. So
that's gonna be my follow-up question. That's gonna be my follow-up question. What your status was for the rest of the program that you're doing or whatever.
Yeah, so I left behind a shit ton of cash for the landlord.
Okay.
Because I pay her in cash.
Oh.
So I paid for this month. Usually we pay at the end of the month,
right.
As opposed to in Worcester where we always paid for at the beginning of the month. So I paid her for this month and April in case I can come back, but I don't know if I will be able to. I unfortunately had to leave my guitar that I bought there. So that's
lucky, man.
I just didn't have space for it.
Right.
So that sucks. I also left my running shoes and some boots that I bought. I need to get new running shoes anyway, so it's not the end of the world.
Right.
But
right.
Still kind of sucks.
Still an inconvenience.
But yeah, I was also in the middle of marathon training there with a running group, and we can't run. It's illegal to go outside essentially.
Yeah,
so And obviously the marathon got canceled as well. So I really had nothing to do there. And I was just in an apartment in a suburb of Madrid, and it was so boring and awful. And I didn't even own a desk. So my computer was just on my bed all the time. So I came back, and now I'm in Cape Cod, and it's beautiful. It's really cold, but I'm all alone. It's actually super scary because the house is like in the middle of the woods, and it was built in like the 1700s. And it's creaky. I have a fire going right now, which is nice. And but it's kind of creepy, honestly. Going to bed is really terrifying.
Oh God, dude, yeah. No, I lived in a haunted house. Trust me, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's something.
I did go to the supermarket today, and it was not as bad as people. It was not as bad as I thought, but like the toilet paper meme or whatever is real. There was no toilet paper, and there was this old guy with like one of the little shopping carts, and he had nothing else in the cart, and he was like slowly going down the aisle looking at all the empty toilet paper. And when I went past him, he was like, "I just went out to get some toilet paper, but I gotta go to Costco or something, I guess."
Oh no, dude.
So my work got the notice to start working remotely on Thursday. And on Wednesday, I went out to go grocery shopping. I went to go get an onion or something, just like something small. I saw all these people at the store just like buying tons and tons of stuff. And I was like, man, 6 p.m. on a Wednesday is the time to go shopping on a Wegmans. And the next day, they were like, due to the circumstances, we have to have a meeting about the coronavirus and how it'll impact the rest of the season. I was like, oh, that's why people were doing this. I really hope I didn't screw myself over getting the one onion left in State College.
Shit, dude.
I don't know if the store had just restocked before I went, or if it's just because no one goes to Stop and Shop here. But all the pasta and like soup and stuff was pretty much emptied out, but most of the other stuff was there.
My question is, are people just buying in bulk, or is it just a lot of people buying at the same time?
It's
I think it's like a combination of both. Like it's like
I think it's people are afraid that there'll be nothing left if they don't buy now because other people are doing it.
Yeah, it just complicates things so much more.
Yeah.
I understand bulking up and stuff. Like if you want to get like 2 things of toilet paper or whatever, like whatever. It's the people who get like 20 of them who are
dude, like what the fuck, dog?
Oh yeah.
People are even scalping it.
Really?
Yeah,
which is unlawful.
I hate that shit.
It's like actual like apocalypse level stuff.
Yeah.
No, dude, and I was thinking about this because I don't know if you there was this Portuguese author called José Saramago, I guess. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I'm afraid of that.
He wrote a couple novels, right? One of them, he wrote a few novels, but he wrote a couple novels about like sort of like national emergency situations, like such as this that we're going through right now, right? One of them is about everyone in a certain country just like all of a sudden just going blind, just like literally going blind.
Oh wow.
And there's another one that the one that I've actually read like halfway through is about in a certain country, I don't know, where people just stop dying, right? And so like at first everyone was like really happy about it, but then it actually starts like creating problems, right? And like hospitals, people aren't dying, like funeraries or funeral homes are not they're not generating any businesses. Like insurance companies are running out of business as well. And so there's of course like out of all in all these like emergency type like situations, like there's always people who are going to try to make a profit out of it always, you know what I mean? It's just scummy. And that's what like his novels are about, right? Just people like taking advantage of the situation to like try to one up literally everyone and just make a profit out of it, even though like the situation literally affects literally all of us, you know what I mean? It's just really fucking scummy, man. I hate it.
What was his name again?
I'll say it one more time for everyone listening. José Saramago, and I'll type it in the group chat.
Yeah, because that sounds fascinating. Like I think the idea of like the death of death is an interesting literary idea to explore.
It's called in English. It's called Death with Interruptions, and it's quite. I haven't read the whole thing through. I've read it. I think I read like halfway into the book, but it's quite interesting.
All right. Well, I'm definitely gonna need stuff to read at some point in this.
Definitely. Hold up.
Yeah. Do we do like book club now? Like book recommendations for the end of the world?
I can't really. I mean, I guess I could always read online. I only have books that were published like before 1960 in this house. Yeah.
So is this like an Airbnb or like how did you come?
No. This is like my family's house.
Oh, really?
I used to like go here during the summer when I was a kid and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Look out for some John Steinbeck, dog.
Oh, really?
I'm sure he is in here. His body, in fact.
Right. Yeah.
You can have like a fun weekend at Bernie's time with him.
We have the complete like British encyclopedia from 1912 in the other room.
Go, dude! You can learn so much.
I could learn so much.
So much outdated information.
That's like almost pre-cars. Like they existed then, but like they weren't really commercial yet.
Right.
You're right.
Shit, dog. So just for I guess sake of updating, I'm looking at the COVID-19honduras.org website right now, where they're like updating on the whole situation. I don't know when it was last updated, but so far, whatever is on the website right now, it says there's 3 cases reported just infected. There's one at the northern coast, and there's a couple here in the state that I live in, Francisco Morazan. No deaths or people like recovered reported as of now. The first couple of cases were reported, if I'm not mistaken, on Wednesday, which is pretty bad timing because that was around the time that I started falling ill with a stupid little cold that I'm carrying until like literally right now.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, man?
I'm getting better. Yeah, no, I was really sneezy and like clogged up most of Thursday, most of Friday, even yesterday a little bit. But I'm a lot better now. Yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to handle it?
It's really surprising that there haven't been any more cases reported. I don't know if this is because of reporting issues or if it somehow has been able to be contained. However, I don't know, dog. Our health system just naturally is on the border of like collapse, like every, you know what I mean? Like just naturally. Yeah. So like having to deal with something like this is, I just don't know how they're going to fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like the thing of people stockpiling toilet paper thing in Honduras, or what are people doing to prepare?
I understand that it's not as bad here. Like, I guess it's not as that culture of like buying in bulk. People are certainly going out to like buy supplies. They're just not like, all right, I need to take everything because whatever.
I have a question.
You know? Yeah.
Do you use bidets there?
I don't know a single person that has one, to be honest.
Okay, because in Spain there wasn't a huge issue with toilet paper because most people use bidets.
Right.
That's nice, man. That's
people should just sell bidets. Yeah.
I heard like someone saying like bidets are better because it's easier to like remove the like fecal matter, but toilet paper, you're like kind of like tearing at the tissue and stuff like that. If you just use toilet paper.
Yeah, also you don't have to keep paying for it. You just pay for water.
I saw a good comparison that was telling to do an experiment to compare bidets with toilet paper, and you take two ears of corn, right? And you cover them both in peanut butter, and you try to get the peanut butter off with like paper towels on one of them, and with the other one you like spray them with water.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be a better test to just use fecal matter.
No,
you're right. Highly convenient though. I don't know. I wouldn't want to deal with that shit.
You could also use a real asshole as well instead of corn.
Yeah.
I did.
We've all got time this next few months to experiment with this. So
yeah,
go to your bathroom.
All of the day.
For those of you listening and who are trying out this experiment, once you try it out, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what your results were.
Yes, please do not sue either of us. Anyway.
I gotta say, as an American who did not grow up using a bidet and having a bidet in my apartment in Spain, it was actually pretty. I like to. Maybe this is stupid to talk about. I liked the combo. You know, like some TP, some bidet.
Yeah.
Mix it.
I mean, like, that's what I do. I like if I'm close to a sink, I'll like reach over, run underneath some water, and use that.
Really?
Yeah, take a square of toilet paper, start at the sink, run underneath the faucet, and then use that.
The wet toilet paper?
Yeah, man. Like,
when it just dissolve?
I mean, like, no, I mean, like, if you use if you take a few sheets and like you fold it over, it gets thicker.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember Linnea had a bidet, and it was awesome.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
I never used that. Like, I felt like I was unable to use that just because I felt like I couldn't just go say, "Hey, can I use your bidet?"
Like, can I go take a shit in your bathroom so that I can try it out?
It's so funny. We Americans think it's so like weird, and then if you go to Europe, they think it's disgusting that you don't use a bidet.
Matt, this is a tangent, but do you remember Israeli chocolate wine?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think it was you and me. We were like doing something with Linnea, and then she like came back from Birthright. She's like, I brought this Israeli chocolate wine. So you
Yes,
and
I
me had a
do.
cup.
It was delicious. It tasted just like Hershey's chocolate syrup, but in a wine.
I thought it was weird. It tasted like sour pudding. Like,
Yeah, I thought
Oh, dude.
it was weirdly viscous for a wine. It was more of
yeah,
like a drizzle. It was weird to be drinking out of a wine glass.
yeah.
This is a great transition into today's sponsor, Bomba Israeli Peanut Snack.
yeah.
Bomba peanut snack sponsor us.
Yo, Bamba is so hot. We've
Yeah.
had this
Bomba
conversation
is
before.
perfect. It is
'Cause,
it is like puff Cheetos but peanut butter.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
wish I
God.
could eat that. Damn
It's
it.
fucking good. Just to close out the conversation that we were having, I think I read somewhere producing one roll of like toilet paper requires more water than it would to like use a bidet, like for every time that you need to use a bidet. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
yeah.
it's just like a
Interesting.
lot less wasteful to like use a bidet than to like use toilet paper.
Yeah.
So if we like wiped our ass with like something equally as water consuming, like asparagus or an almond, would that cancel it out? Or
I mean,
I don't know.
tell us the results if you wipe your ass with
Yes.
asparagus.
It sounds dangerous. You might lose one of those in there.
Like,
Oh, God.
lose one of what? Like your finger?
Oh,
No, the almonds.
Always
Okay.
put a flared base on your almonds.
Okay.
So this is an engineering question.
Mhm.
Do you think
excellent.
there must be like? Do you think if like putting things in your butt wasn't so like taboo and weird, do you think engineers could design like a wiping method that would be the most efficient by like? Do you think it? I guess what I'm saying is, do you think the most efficient method would be to design a specific tool that you could use and cover with something so that you could reuse it and not have to wash it to most effectively get
It's
clean your
like a
bottom?
stick, right? It's not like an implant.
I don't know. Maybe it's like twist, like a screw, and you like unscrew it from your asshole, and it
Can
like.
you draw a picture of what you're describing and put it in the chat? 'Cause I'm like,
I
trying to
could. I
visualize
will.
this.
Actually, that's a good idea. I'm picturing literally like a screw with a flared base, I guess, that you unscrew out of your butt, I guess.
Like I'm thinking like it's like
I
something
guess
you
it's
like
possible.
it's like a suppository you have with you all the time. Like then you have to go to the bathroom and just take it out.
I suppose so, and it would have like uh something that you could put over it so that obviously you wouldn't want to reuse it all the time. You would have like a cover over it that you would then like throw in the toilet when you're done with it. Although I don't know how you would get it
But
off.
then you'd have
Okay,
to
never
carry it
mind.
everywhere.
I wish I didn't bring this up. This is stupid.
I guess I don't like the word screw when I think about my butt.
Yeah, that was
That's like the more
was
that's the
an
part I'm trying to wrap
opportune
my head
word.
around. Like
I have literally only one thing prepared for today, but it's pretty funny.
I had a couple. You asked me to remind you to tell me the story about that one time that you had went to something.
Damn it! Now I have two things, I guess.
more the merrier.
Okay, well, I'll space these out so I'm not just talking for like 10 minutes straight. Do you want to hear the story about getting cannolis with Resta or what I did today first?
I could go for a cannoli right now.
If we're talking about suppositories, I guess I would like to hear about cannolis.
This is a pretty short story, but basically, this Owen, you might have taken this class. It was a like 17th and 18th century literature class, but that's not really important. The important thing is our teacher weirdly asked us to come to her house to like give presentations. It was very strange.
Okay.
And like not everyone had cars, so I was like with this girl who I didn't really know, and like other people we didn't really know, and we were just all going in her car to this house.
Oh, damn.
It's a super weird request to make of the students, and she wants everyone to bring food. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go with a holy cannoli.
Oh my God, those were so hot.
Because they're excellent. So I might as well have some cannolis while I'm at this stupid event. So we're going at like 9, so I have to get the cannolis early.
In the morning.
Yeah. The place opens at 7. So I say, Resta, do you want to get cannolis at 6 a.m. tomorrow? Do you want to leave at 6 a.m. to get cannolis? And he says, okay. And I don't think he like fully was even paying attention. But I'm like, okay. So I go to his room, his dorm the morning, and I wake him up, and I'm like, "Hey, we gotta go get cannolis. Come on, let's go." And he's like, "Okay." And it's pouring raining outside. It's
no,
miserable. And so we're trudging through it, and you know that like disgusting train overpass that's like a shortcut to get to
Yes.
Cannoli. We're going
God.
through that because the people just throw garbage there. We're like trudging through like wet refuse, just like covering the ground.
no, dude.
It's awful. And we finally get there, and it's like 7:10 or whatever, and they're just opening, and I'm like, "Okay, Resto, we're here. We can get the cannolis." And he looks at me and he says, "Oh, I thought this was a prank."
No, dog.
Why did you still go if he thought it was a prank?
I don't know why he went if he thought it was a prank.
He was just a bro.
I don't know. That just always stuck with me. What a weird thing for us to
Oh,
see.
I get that.
But I guess to conclude it, we got the cannolis. They got kind of wet on the way back, but whatever. They were still good at the party. Gave the presentation and got out of there. It was super awkward, but
How'd your presentation go?
it wasn't even like the thesis, like the final, whatever. It was like we all went to her house and brought 1 page or so about what we were going to write about. And
Oh God.
Dude, so you had to go to this person's house just for that shit?
yes, it was completely unnecessary.
I hated when we had to do that for capstone.
Yeah, right.
I still have like the comment card you wrote for my topic. It's like
He shit on you?
well, yeah, no, like I was like we were reading Man in the High Castle, so my thesis
That's
was
also
on
a good one.
how do you determine and live in a true reality, and like Matt wrote a comment where it was like a little devil. I think it was like the gist of it was just like, isn't the concept of multiverse theory go against the idea of a perfect reality? I was just like, you know what, this is a cute little devil, say it, make me contemplate my topic, so I just hung it up on my wall.
I'm glad I knew some people and I could draw on their cards because I was so bored of the like days of being forced to write a comment on something, you know, and you're like being forced to give constructive criticism, and then it just ends up not being useful.
Yeah.
Right.
So annoying.
Awkward, yeah.
My ex-girlfriend was also in that class, and we did not have a good split, so I was just like, anytime we had to like do critique together, I was like, oh, this
dude, that's so right. Fun. I completely forgot because she literally never spoke. She was so like quiet and in the back.
Yeah.
I had 2 professors that wanted us to go to their house.
Why? Like, just like by yourself, or
no. One of them was one of them wasn't like a project or anything. It was just like straight come to my house for food. I didn't go, and I don't remember why. I had something to do, and I wish that I had gone because I don't even remember what I did instead. And then the other one was similar to what you did. We just like worked on a group project after breakfast at their house.
I never got invited to any of that, and like I worked in the office. I'm surprised like no one was like, "Hey, do you want dinner or food or something?"
It feels like inappropriate to make someone come do work at your house.
I mean, like, it definitely is now. Like a lot of people in my family are professors, and they like say like, "Yeah, you can't do that anymore." Like there are so many protocol against it.
Yeah, it seems like he'd be breaking rules. I did have one professor when I was taking my Spanish capstone. This is just about around the end of the semester, I think. He lives in the whatever that fucking hipster town in Massachusetts, Northampton. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
maybe.
Yeah, he lives around Northampton. He like invited all of us in his class. It was a small class, right? Like I don't know, like 12 or 14 of us maybe, and we were all just like got along pretty well together. And he just invited us to like hang out because he was just cool. We would just talk about like life and stuff, which was nice. I didn't go. I don't remember why. I something with my scheduling that I couldn't figure out. But I guess I wish I could have because everyone seemed to have a good time. But that was like the only time that I remember having a professor like I guess inviting us over to their place.
It's just
okay. Here, I'll say my other thing that I have for today, which was actually the only thing I prepared. So today I was using my phone, and I kept getting like, a call from a number that I didn't recognize, and I thought it was just spam or whatever. You know what happens, and I just kept like swiping it and ignoring it, and then it keeps happening. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I get a text, and here I'll just read it to you. It's this guy says, "Mommy, it's Jay." And I'm like, okay, this is clearly a wrong number, but I will not pass up this golden opportunity. So I say, I'm not vote for Bernie. And he says, what? Do I have the wrong number? And I said, do not send me any solicitor messages, young man. Jay responds, Mommy, is this you? I'm confused. And I'm going to send, I'll describe it, but let me just send the picture I sent him.
About the president, the Honduran president?
I said, I do not know any J. And I sent him a picture that says, all robots and computers must shut the hell up. All machines do not speak unless spoken to. I will never speak to you. I am a divine being and you are an object. You have no right to speak to me in the holy tongue.
Damn, dog. Shit.
And he hasn't answered yet.
This is probably like a 6-year-old.
Dude.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was a fun way to get my daily quota of messing with people.
So, dude, when you send me those messages, when you send me these pictures of like you replying to bullshit to those like solicitor texts that you get, are you actually replying to them, or are you just making the image?
Whenever I get like a text from someone, it's usually like vote for Bernie or like volunteer or whatever. From the campaigners, I send them like a weird image, and then they'll be like, I think it's a script because they'll be like, can you explain afterwards? And then I have to actually like say something to them, and I usually just keep saying yes until they don't answer me back.
Okay, so you actually do send the weird pictures back to them.
I do. Let me. I got one a couple days ago. Let me see. Here it is. So he says, blah blah blah. He says, "Will you help vote for Bernie Sanders?" And I sent him a picture of in Spanish saying how corrupt Daniel's president is. And he says, "I'm sorry, and would you mind explaining via text?" I said, "Yes." He says, "Great, blah blah blah." He just sends the same script, so I don't think he's gonna get back to me.
You should call him. Meet up with him in person.
Take him to a nice chicken dinner.
Touch his face.
This seems to be getting illegal.
Sneeze in his mouth.
Go get a nice hot dog with them.
Yep.
I would eat a nice hot dog right now. My God.
Dude, I have not had a good hot dog in like millennia. I think the last time I had a good hot dog was when I was in Worcester. Actually, that I went to Coney Island with Scotty.
Ooh,
I never went.
It was a nice place. Well, you're vegetarian.
Oh yeah, that's probably why. I haven't been in Spain. I forgot I was a vegetarian.
I've always been. I don't think I remember this.
No, I was. I think as long as I've known you, I've been like pescatarian, so I would eat fish.
Yeah, right.
Do we not go for meals often? I feel like I should have known this. That's weird.
Didn't we all go to get like pizza at Volturno's at one time, or was that?
I would certainly.
I guess I did with you, Owen. I don't remember. I think Spencer and I came.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Because it was like really cheap. If you guys want vegan hot dogs, come by. There's a really it's going to close soon probably because of the virus, but there's a nice place that sells good vegan hot dogs downtown.
Will you send me one?
I was reading like an interview with Grimes, and like she is apparently very bizarre. And one of her statements was that she is a very strict vegetarian except for eating hot dogs, because according to her, no animals suffer or die in making up hot dogs.
Okay.
So there you go. You can eat hot dogs, Cam.
Awesome. I love hot dogs.
That sounds like something Kanye West would say in an interview. Like just so disconnected from reality.
It was very weird. Like she said her favorite food was, she called it like sludge, where she's like mixes up can of spinach, can of like sweet condensed milk, can of beans, and then microwaves that.
Yo, I will admit, condensed milk is always good.
Condensed milk is the hottest thing in the world.
Condensed milk, I agree, Daniel. Condensed milk is the hottest thing in the world.
It is good.
Like, so good.
Can't put it in everything, man.
You can put it in espresso, and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, but you can't put it in like a can of spinach and beans.
You can.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Yeah.
There was a long period where Nick Kirshner was working at the teaching job he hated, like, and spending all his time at it. And whenever I would come over at night and it was dinner time, he would literally just open a can of refried beans, like dump it so it was still cylindrical into a pan, just leave it on the burner, and then that was his dinner.
I don't understand how that never. There's so much fiber in a whole can of beans. How did that never like fuck up with his bowel movements? I guess his bowel movements are fucked naturally as it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember I've seen multiple pictures of his stove with a cylindrical
He doesn't even mash it up.
Yeah.
So he's just like he's still eating the cylinder, like the lukewarm cylinder. Then I'm sure like he like puts a stick in it. And he's just like slowly slurping it up.
All of it. It's just
corn.
So here's another topic, specific to our context and not relatable at all, probably to anyone else. But what's the deal with the Blarn closing, dog?
Oh,
That
right,
shit's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Like, it's fair that it got closed because whatever the reason why it's closed is like really fucked up. But like, come on, dog.
the Blarn is the bar we used to go to, and I'll just give you the context. You don't have to extrapolate it.
$6 pitchers of Rolling Rock.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, wasn't it like Hangover Pub where he was involved in like drug trafficking, or was it something else?
No,
Oh shit, dude.
he was over serving and someone got killed in a drunk driving accident because.
Oh my god,
Down Chandler Street too, which is like literally right there.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I get
awful.
that like the bartender needs to be arrested or lose his license or whatever, but I feel like the bar, you can't really predict that about someone when you hire them. You know what I mean? Like,
unless it was
I
the
don't
owner
know.
who was the bartender that night. Or
Well, sure, yes. then the owner would go to jail and the bar would close. But I don't think that's why it's closing, is it?
I don't know the details.
Okay. I remember when that guy got arrested and all those restaurants closed because he was embezzling money. He was laundering money through all these restaurants, and like all the restaurants downtown closed.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember. Wasn't there like a weird like ramen place or something?
Cheyenne would always be like, "Dude, that was the best ramen I had in my life, and I'll never get it again."
Yeah. Damn, Worcester is a weird fucking place.
Oh, and we went to that bacon place.
Oh god, me and Aaron. What were you saying?
Oh, I just said that was also one of them. That was in the money laundering scheme.
Yeah, well, me and Aaron went there once, and like as soon as we finished, we sat in the car and just passed out for 30 minutes just from like all the pork we just eaten. We were like, oh, that was a mistake.
Someone told me that like all of the restaurants in Worcester are like probably money laundering schemes.
Oh, most definitely.
It's definitely possible, but I don't think all for the same like organization or person.
Right,
no. It would be like different people. I don't know how true it is though. And
Dude, Hotoy had to be a money laundering scheme. It just seems
Which
like
one?
The one that was across from CVS that always reeked of weed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mitch took his dad there once, and his dad was like, "We have to go somewhere else."
What about like
I don't think I ever went in there. That place always sketched me the fuck out. That's the place that was right next to Yo Way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I think one of you took me to that banh mi place for the first time, and I was like, "This place is a place like actually open." I assumed it was condemned. It's got like boarded up windows and like barbed wire all over the fence, and like I was like, "Oh, this is a place." And I remember I gave them my card because like I didn't have any cash on me. They like went in the back and called someone to clear it, and I was like, "Do I need to like check my balance now?"
Worcester's crazy.
I love Worcester.
Did you guys all go to Loving Hut with like Nick and Jen?
Yes.
I didn't know.
It was a vegan cult restaurant.
An actual cult?
I don't. So there's TVs playing videos of the supreme leader talking about like what she wants you to do in life while you eat, like in the restaurant. So I feel like it's pretty culty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite culty. You would read about her, and she was into like a diet that entailed just breathing or some bullshit like that. She said that she could like
she was like the ultimate a human can aspire to is to only intake air and like not even eat food.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Isn't that like promoting that shit? Wouldn't that promoting that should be like illegal?
I feel like
like because you can make people very, very sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Though I think it also depends on like what your position of power is. Like, I mean, someone on the street.
I don't know. In her videos, there's always like a group of people like crowded around her reverently, and I don't know if it's just those 20 people, or if like she has any influence or reach elsewhere, or what is going on. It's super weird.
Huh.
Decent food though.
Oh yeah, no, the food was excellent. I always had good meals there.
Yeah, Loving Hut was real good.
Their cheesecake was insane. Whatever, it wasn't cheese, I guess, but whatever the fuck it was really good.
I did always prefer that place that just gave you a big slaw of vegan food, and it was like through a bulletproof glass. Remember what I'm talking about, Cam?
Yeah, a Belmont Veg.
Yeah, that place was
I
awesome.
never fucking went there. I'm upset.
Dog, Belmont Veg is hot.
Yeah, that's what Nick and Jen always used to say, but I never had the chance to go.
Good.
Worcester had the most insanely good and weird food scene
Yeah,
I've ever seen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I miss Birch Tree bread. Like I just like eat their
yeah.
Oh,
sample of
God,
bread.
dude.
Like those fantastic sandwiches and coffee.
That place was hot. And all the
I remember one time we were at Birch Tree Bread, and this was unrelated, but Cheyenne was actively cheating at Words with Friends at this point, and he was doing it while we were there. And Nick kept like looking at his phone while he was playing, and he kept like trying to hide it because he was cheating. And you might have been there, Cam. The waitress brought us something else that was for another table that we didn't order, and Nick started like eating it, and she came back and took it and just didn't say anything.
No, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, he just had like a bit. It was like a bunch of cookies or something, and he ate like one, but he just like put his hands on it, and then she came back.
Oh God! Wow,
Thank God we weren't in a pandemic then.
Yeah,
Oh, God, that's right.
I miss fucking Acoustic, man. I know it may sound like cheesy to say because that's like the coffee shop that like all Clarkies went to because it was right there. But I don't know. I had so many good conversations with like so many different people there. You know what I mean? All the time.
Yeah.
It was like a meeting. It was like a meeting point for me and like people even outside of Clark. Like me and Shadi, that's kind of like where we bonded at. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know. So I fucking miss it.
Yeah, I did the math and like I found out freshman year every week I'd end up spending $70 at Acoustic Java. And I no way could afford that. Like I'm amazed. Like I even had money at the end of that.
What the fuck would you buy there?
Every day, like for breakfast, I'd get a large coffee and a pumpkin muffin. So like, I guess like that was like, wait. Now I'm trying to figure out where did the other money come from? Oh, someone might have been using my card. That should not have been great.
People at Hotoy, I mean, or the other place that you were talking about.
Yeah, pretty well. The Bond Me people were going crazy at Acoustic Java under my name. Did anyone else work at that call center freshman year that like poached people from college?
Oh, I went there. Me and Dan Anisfeld worked there for a minute.
It was
yeah. He hated us because we quit immediately. We did the paid training and left.
The other Matt, the one I don't speak of at the very least anymore.
Right.
Like he was like, "Yo, Owen, let's go over there and work there." And then like I did, and like he quit after a week. And I was just like, "Well, this is my job now." So I'd like walk an hour every couple days to go there.
No,
Matt, I was talking to my friend Joy the other day, and she said people have similar names. She has like nicknames for. So for you, you're fun, Matt.
Nice.
But he's school shooter, Matt.
Oh God, dude.
It was super weird.
Well, like I remember when
I feel like you're like more qualified to talk about how weird he is because I've only interacted with him probably 3 or 4 times, but just from talking to him those times, it was a weird vibe.
Yeah, I mean, like my nickname for him was Racist Matt because so much stuff.
Shit.
Right? Wasn't he a World War II reenactor for the Nazis?
Yeah. So Matthew,
Luigi Mario.
Like I'm doing big air quotes. Friend of,
using his full name.
Yeah, I feel like that's
we can censor it out.
Yeah, censor part of that. Yeah. But like he did World War II reenactments. So junior year, we were living in a 6-person dorm with me, Aaron, Jonathan, and a few other people. So for Halloween, he wanted to go as a Nazi zombie, which included several iconographies you do not keep in public or private,
especially at Clark.
Oh God, like anywhere. Like so, me, Aaron, and Jonathan spent like 30 minutes arguing with him about why you do not wear any of this at all. You know, like he eventually gave up, but like it was not in a way that was just like, oh, I see your point. It's like fine, whatever. I guess you guys be quiet. Like I don't know. But then like when we did the senior day events and we went to go we went to that brewery. I'd like stopped hanging out with him, but I overheard him talking to another person I don't talk about. sorry. Like you're saying, like, man, I hope they accept my concealed carry license as a valid license. I was like, oh my God, what?
Yeah, dude. We had a national broadcast a couple minutes ago, and apparently there's 3 new cases here in Honduras, making it a total of 6 people, including 1 baby.
Oh, and, Jesus!
No.
the measures to be taken is pretty much every business except banks and grocery stores and gas stations and pharmacies and convenience stores and hotels will not close, but they can't hold more than like 50 people, like in the vicinity, I guess, if you will. And all of our fucking borders are going to be closed. Maritime and aerial and terrestrial borders are going to be closed.
I mean, it's good to do it early.
It's better that they're doing it now as opposed to like.
I remember Daniel and I were like a very long time ago when it was first on the radar. We were like, yeah, we're not really that concerned about this, but the U.S. has been so bad in its like response that I feel like it's way scarier than it had to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to like bring this to like a sour note after the conversation that we were having. My bad.
I mean, like changing topics from horrible racism. Let's go to horrible illness.
You know what they say? It's the 3 Ps, right?
What are the 3 Ps?
Plague, pestilence, and putting it away.
Damn, dog.
Damn, yeah, I love the 3 Ps. I love Melee so much. I'm so sad it's canceled for the virus. I'm so sad.
Melee.
They should organize like online stuff, or is that complicated?
There's a ladder. Maybe we'll get like a real net play tournament. I don't know. It's kind of iffy because like
it's like input lag and whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it'd be nice just to see, just for fun, even.
Yeah, right. Just hanging around, just fucking around. Yeah.
The tournament today, it was like, I mean, it was pretty whatever, but I just wanted to see it before it went away for months and months.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I got to see H God fucking win, dude.
I love that you latched onto the most hated player by far in Smash.
I think that.
Yeah. Does anyone like him except?
I think that's kind of
Daniel?
why I like him, because he's such a meme, and everyone fucking.
He's super memey.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know. I fucking love it.
He's like the villain.
Yeah.
But now Ice Climbers are like the new villain because Ice Climbers are starting to get banned.
They've always been the fucking villains to me, dude. I've always hated those bastards.
Yeah.
They're terrorists.
They're fucking annoying, dude. We organize like a Mario Party 2 on Parsec or some shit at some point. Is that possible?
Hell yeah. I mean, it would probably be unplayable during the minigames, but I'd still probably do it because it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard playing Darius with the input lag.
Right.
What the hell are those games called, Darius, dude?
I mean, they're probably actually called Darius, if that makes
what does
more
that
sense.
mean? Like Darius.
I just know Darius is like a person, like a dude's name, right? It's like Darius, right?
Yeah, it's like an old name.
Yeah, the rival to Alexander the Great.
Right.
Here, I've looked up the Japanese name is it's Dariyasu.
Oh, okay.
So Matt, using your new Japanese lessons, what does that mean?
I think it's just the name.
It's still just a name, isn't it?
It's in katakana. It's like a proper name.
All right, and now we know officially.
Does any of us have a hot take prepared at all? I know
I have one.
Hot take alert or whatever.
My hot take is I think graphics are a hindrance to gaming at this point.
Okay, I could agree.
Because a lot of companies are focusing on making these, like, at least AAA companies are making these hugely hyper realistic games that have like, oh, you can see the pores on the skin of the main character, but like, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Right. Like, I'm gonna play it on lowest settings so that it runs the best.
Yeah, because no one can afford the fucking computer that can run all the, for all that shit to be actually visible.
Yeah, like, it's great that it looks like real life, I guess, but like, it's gonna look bad in 3 years anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like instead of going for ultra realism, it's much better to go for to like create a specific art style or go for one that already exists and make something look like that, which you can do in 3D. Because if you look at like BioShock has a specific kind of art style, and it still looks good, even though it's a 13-year-old game.
Yeah.
And it's a 3D game.
Yeah, well, this is why a lot of like PlayStation 2 era, like late PlayStation 2 era games, they just don't quite hold up like visually, right? Because they were maybe then it was impressive, but now it's just like whatever.
GTA 3 looks like trash. But if you look at Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, it has cartoony style, and it looks dated today, but it still looks good. It looks better than GTA 3 does because it's not trying to look realistic. It has a specific art style that it's going for, and it still looks good.
I just think fucking Shovel Knight is my game of the decade.
I think 2D games
2D games aged super well. Not that Shovel Knight aged, but the art style aged well.
Yeah. I mean, because there's definitely games that look gross that are 2D.
The Switch version of fucking Bloodstained.
God damn. The way that looks.
Yeah, I don't.
Isn't it pseudo 3D though? Aren't they like?
Okay, you're right. I guess you're right.
3D.
I was under the assumption it was just a port that was
it's a bad port.
The hardware, but it's its own thing. Trying to emulate that kind of sucks.
I mean, I think because they kind of worked off of like the Wii U port or whatever, so like it just came off kind of like really fucked up. It's been like a year just about since I purchased it, and I still find it like a little bit unplayable, to be honest.
I really liked Bloodstained at first. I have it on PC. I don't have it on Switch. I really liked it at first, and then I started, but I like got stuck somewhere, so I stopped playing. And then I started playing Symphony of the Night, and it's the same game. And there were like a lot of things.
It's by design.
I know, but there were a lot of things in it that I thought, wow, this is so cool. And it was just because I'd never played Symphony of the Night before.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So did it change your opinion on Symphony of the Night then? Or like alternately?
I don't really like Symphony of the Night either. Yeah. I don't think I like that kind of game.
I mean, I love it, which is why I was so like fucking like interested in Bloodstained, right? Because like I played through all three. I played through all three of the GBA Vanias, and I fucking love them. And I would like play through them like again right now because I like them so much. But it's just the Switch version is just choppy, man. Choppy.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
The other thing is like there's so much money goes into making these graphics because if you're putting like individual pores and hairs on people, it takes so many resources, and you could spend those resources on better things like refining the gameplay or making the story not dumb.
Dude, I'm playing through Darksiders, and like, well, I have the War Mastered Edition, right? Because like Darksiders 1 and 2 were like $8 for the remasters or whatever for PS4. But like, I do own the game on PS3, and like, because of the art style, right? It's like very, very stylized that it just holds up really, really well too. You know what I mean? Like I would dare say it holds better than like the God of Wars that came out for PS3 and whatever, you know.
What's also interesting is that the BioShock remasters, which you got by default if you already own BioShock on Steam, I haven't played through all of them, but when I started playing through them, I noticed that the game mostly look the same. They just like added stuff like in the intro sequence, which is like a pretty famous intro sequence. It's when you're like in the bathysphere submarine getting a tour of the outside of the city. It looks almost exactly the same. They just like added jellyfish and starfish on the buildings and stuff. Like it's the same game. They literally just like went and added things in because the art style was the way that it was made, it still looked good. It still looks good today, even though it's so old.
Those are 1080p jellyfish, man.
Yeah.
Technology can now render jellyfish.
Jellyfish have a lot of limbs and kind of pulsate. It's a little...
Yes, that's why like technology is now advanced enough to understand what a jellyfish is. Yep. There were no digital recreations of a jellyfish before 2015, and that is a fact.
Yeah, dude.
Now I'm just trying to prove you wrong to be an asshole about it, but I can't think of one. So maybe he's right. Are there some in Echo?
Who was in Finding Nemo?
In Echo, I was going to say Finding Nemo. There are jellyfish in Echo the Dolphin. I don't know about the Dreamcast.
It's like Owen is an idiot.
Oh, now you sound like my therapist.
All right, let's hear your hot take, Owen.
My hot take. All right. My hot take. We put too much stock in what critical or audience consensus is. And the only opinion that matters on media is your own.
Yeah, that's fair, right? Like if you fucking like the new Star Wars movie, then what's it to everyone else, right?
Yeah, like I mean, like if you can find something to enjoy from Rise of Skywalker, good on you. I would actually, I recommend checking out Cinema Wins. They're like the antithesis to Cinema Sins, where they'll comb through a movie and say like, oh, this is how like an effect or a character or a performance turned out well. I think it's enjoyable to even see like a bad movie and someone say, no, like work went into this and like people were clearly trying with this. It just didn't really click with some people. But like I really liked the new Godzilla movie. And I know like a lot of critics didn't like it. And I was like, well, I think it's kind of missing the point, but you know, everyone has their own thing. And like I just love Godzilla, and that's why I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, critics didn't like The Witcher either, and I had never played nor read The Witcher, and I really liked the series on Netflix so far.
I've been having trouble getting into that. I think it's just like the accents are too thick for me because like when I first started watching Doctor Who like 5 years ago, I could not understand anything through all like the thick British accents. So like that was it for The Witcher. Like I was like everything they said was on a 10-second delay, so I was like, all right, maybe I should get into this.
Dude, the Castlevania on Netflix is really hot.
Oh, I love that, man.
Like
I finished season 3 last week. I loved it.
I watched the first season when it came out. I think I was still like around Clark when it first came out. I don't quite remember.
Yeah,
but I didn't keep up with it for I don't know because I've just never been good at following like series as it is. But I like picked it up sometime this week and I was like, wow, this is really fucking good.
I love it. I have not played a Castlevania game, but I would because of the show.
I liked it a lot. I liked the first 2 seasons a lot. I liked the most recent one just fine. I was actually, when I was on the plane, the guy next to me started watching it on Netflix, and I was like, oh shit. So then I whipped out my Switch and started playing Castlevania 3 next to it.
Hell yeah.
I might have said this already, even on the show, but the reason I haven't watched it...
You're an asshole.
Okay.
You have nothing else to say, Daniel?
No, I'm sorry.
All right. No, we'll never hear it.
Patrons, you can unlock this conversation at the $15 level.
No, when I bought my Switch, the guy at the desk at the counter told Cam to watch it, and I really didn't like that guy, so I didn't want to watch it after. He seemed like a loser. I didn't like the way he talked about stuff and his vibe. I don't know. He seemed like really overly nerdy. Like,
oh yeah,
the kind of person you'd expect to want to work at GameStop. I don't know.
Oh no,
I don't know if that's rude.
Well, I'd be like, no, I feel like that's like a bit of an apt comparison. Like when I was at like the anime convention a few months ago, there were sometimes I was like, please don't talk to me, please don't come up to me. We have nothing in common or similar health habits.
Right. Similar hygiene.
Continue with your. If you had something else to say about your hot take.
Not my hot take, but like if we're also doing are we doing like quarantine book recommendations with this or what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Quarantine general wellness recommendations, I guess, would be nice.
Yeah, I think that's good. So my recommendation, I guess if we're doing wellness tips, like do something positive that gives you control. Like, because I feel like being isolated, kind of feel trapped. You're like, I'm kind of, especially with a situation like the virus, like, I'm losing control of my life. I feel like if you do something productive, like make yourself a meal or like write a poetry or a story or draw a picture, that gives you a positive element of control that you can, do get some confidence. But for book recommendations, a book that's been helping me a lot when I'm feeling like depressed or like really lonely, I read this book called My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. And it is this illustrated autobiography about this author who's trying to come to terms with like their depression and trying to like break out of it and try and get control of their life and get some. I just like connected with a lot of different parts on it. As like someone dealing with depression in like an LGBT setting, I found like it to be a fascinating book. So if you'd like to empathize with someone going through similar situations, check out her book.
I think I heard about that on NPR.
I'm relatively sure you recommended that last time.
I think I recommended the sequel because I was reading that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is really grabbing me.
But no, that's a good point, Owen. If you're stuck inside, do something every day, something you think is fun. Just structure something for yourself to like not just lose track of time and like a sense of having your life move forward.
Animal Crossing is coming out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm hoping the mail lasts until I get it and I don't have to buy it digitally and cancel my pre-order and go through all that.
Yeah.
We're about to get that serotonin, boys.
I am definitely getting digital.
Yeah, I'm so excited to dump garbage on Daniel's lawn. I'm so happy. I'm so hyped.
I need to go pre-order.